What's up, Full Fire Gang? Today we have a modern video for you. We have Is it Splinter Twin versus Black White Ketramose, or Blink sometimes it's called. A really interesting matchup, two very grindy control sort of esque decks. More so the Ketramose deck, I'd say. But obviously Splinter Twin has that possibility to just at any point end the game with that absolutely, well, I'd say busted, but I would be I'd be a little bit biased as it's my favourite deck. So take that with a grain of salt. Okay, so it looks like both players are keeping their 7 here. Just looks like a little bit of admin to get us started. Okay, still okay, and we're going to start off with a polluted delta. Going to crack that straight away. Getting a steam vents presumably, as I've gone down to 17. Yep, steam vents. And ooh, Ragavan. Now that's a good turn 1 play. Really strong card. Really puts the Ketramose deck under a lot of pressure here. Okay, we're going to see Temple Garden untapped. Presumably that's going to be for prismatic ending purposes. And we find that out very quickly as Ragavan gets put in the prismatic ending. And that's Gabe just explaining why he's playing Temple Garden. And then we're going to go back to the Splinter Twins player's turn, draw for turn. Misty and another Ragavan. Let's see what Gabe has to think about that. So there's Gabe's thoughts on the matter. So untap for the Ketramose player. See what they can do in response to this Ragavan. Looks like a Witch Enchanter played as the land side, so down to 15. Taking quite a lot of damage early doors with the Ketramose player. But if they ever land a Ketramose, that life total pretty much becomes fairly irrelevant. But, let's see what happens. So we're just going to get Surveil land from the Splinter Twin player here. Hopefully looking for something. Now I remember this one, I did actually see a Fire and Ice on top. Now, my first thought was, well, he's played the Witch Enchanter as a land, so he's probably got Failure. So I thought I could get, although I really wanted a third land, clearing out Failure was a lot better, because Ragavan almost guaranteed getting more mana. So swinging Ragavan here, and as expected, in comes Failure. And before blocks, fire it away. So Ragavan ended up getting in, putting the Ketramose player down to 13. Unfortunate to miss a land drop here, but Ragavan does keep me in the game here. So Marsh Flats for the Ketramose player. I can see a Jadu backstreet and a Ephemerate in hand. Can't really see much more than that, unfortunately. So down to 12, or is it down more? Let you see what he gets. Okay, gets a basic swamp. Could play a few different things here. Presumably it's not going to be Ketramose, as there's only, 2 cards exiled. Seems like a pretty mid thing to do. I'm cheating. I did accidentally look at one card that I flicked up, so I know he plays Fatal Push. What can I say? I'm a dirty, dirty dog, and I should be locked up. But looks like it's just going to be an Overlord of the Baelmerc here. Looking just probably for a little bit of action. So we see Ephemerate, Ketramose, Marsh Flats, and Solitude off the top there. Just think he's going to pick up the Solitude here, as he's really worried about that Ragavan hitting and getting me more mana, which is understandable. But let's see what he takes here. Yeah, he's going to pick up that Solitude. And now there's a question of you probably use as a Solitude now. Yep, there we are. Solitude, pitching the Ephemerate to clear off the Ragavan, because I think if he lets me untap, there's a worry that I could counter something. So I'll go back up to 18. And we're going to get an untap here, draw for turn. And it's just a pass. The control players draw go. A classic. So surveil land for the Ketramose player. And a quick look in the graveyard. So Flicker Wisp here. I tank for a bit. I then I do let it resolve, but I didn't realise that it would flicker the Overlord. So Gabe was very gracious and lets me do a little take back here in a second, because I forgot I could get rid of the enchantments. So as we see, a little take back here. So it lets me remand it, which is fine here. So find a land, which is fantastic. So I'm up to 4 mana now. So representing Snapcaster and Remand, or Snapcaster Fire and Ice, like a bunch of things with Snapcaster now. Once you get 4 mana, there is also the threat of Splinter Twin. So I could Sea Rex Arc at the end of turn. So it looks like I'm going to go into my library here. Go get a basic island, because the Ketramose player has played the Flicker Wisp again. And pretty much just taking the stance of keeping my tempo up, because not really under a lot of threat from the Ketramose player here. So playing Snapcaster Mage here to get back the remand. Unfortunately I have to crack the treasure, but I think we're past the point now of needing that treasure desperately. So draw my card for the remand. And now the Ketramose player is once again under a little bit of pressure here. They're on 12, so they've got a little bit of life total padding, but the Snapcaster Mage is representing a lot of damage if we let it go unanswered. So get in with the Snapcaster Mage, and goes to 10. Shock my steam vents in, go down to 16. So again, once again representing Snapcaster Mage plus 2 mana spell. He does have to be thinking about a Bolt Snap Bolt as well, but he does have to use the Boggart Trawler as a land, so he goes to 7. Really in a very dangerous life total here. 6 is the worrying life total for a Snapcaster Mage deck, because like I say, that Bolt Snap Bolt is very worrying. So he's going to play Flicker Wisp. And he's going to, this time I don't have an answer, so he's going to exile the Overlord of the Baelmurk. And this is where I go Snapcaster Mage. A little bit of a misplay here, because I did this in response to the Overlord ETB. I should have just waited until the Overlord resolved, the Overlord ETB resolved. Because then he couldn't get back the Flicker Wisp. I don't think he's getting back the Flicker Wisp, but it's just minor edges. He's going to get the Solitude more than likely here. He is on 6. So he is in that Bolt Snap Bolt range. But I've used 2 Snapcaster Mages, so it is, it's not 100% likely to have it. I do pick up an absolutely fantastic card here, which I'm going to play right away, which is Flame of Anor. So I'm going to get a nice 2 for 1, deal 5 damage to the Overlord, draw 2 cards, basically swinging in for 3 here, for 4, and that's really going to put the Ketramose player under a lot of pressure now, because he was probably relying on that Overlord to do quite a lot of duty for him. So just having a little think here, presumably thinking about whether he wants the Solitude, but I don't think it really matters here, so I'll just draw my 2. So I will then use my Sink into Stupor as a land, put myself down to 13. I'm really in the driver's seat here, so I just need to protect I believe it was the Wu-Tang who said protect your neck, so just make sure I've got counter spells up when I need them. I know he's got Solitude in hand. This one I don't need to worry about because it's not blocking. Again, I'm just waiting to see if he's ever going to ephemerate a Solitude, because if he does, then that's when I want to interact. So he flashes in Felia here. So I let it resolve. I'm more than happy. Again, like I say, I know obviously the structure of my hand. I've got a Snapcaster Mage and a Bolt in hand. So I just need to get to the point where I can 100% get through without him having any interaction. So I'm fine with this Felia if he wants to block here. He ends up choosing not to, so he goes to 4. Which I think was maybe a little bit of a mistake here, but he plays Emperor Bones, which obviously could get back Solitude, which obviously I'm not particularly happy with. I'm fine if he plays a Ketramose, so I just counterspell the Emperor Bones. He plays Ketramose. I think there's enough in exile for it to attack and block. So just something to be aware of. I've got 5 in exile. He's got 3. I think it's 7, isn't it, for Ketramose? So staring down a Felia and a Snapcaster Mage. He's going to go to attacks here. He was about to flicker Ketramose, but then realised he was going to be straight in bolt range, and probably not the best play to make against when you've not seen a single bolt all game. If I was down 2 or 3, then it's a low percentage. But when you haven't seen one all game, I've probably have sandbagged them, which is the case here. So at this point, I'm just gonna close up the game here. I've got him dead a couple ways, but let's see which one I go for. So I'm just gonna go get an island with my polluted Delta, put myself down to 12. Gabe's at 4, and I think that will be wrapping up game 1 very shortly. So yeah, go get my island. I think this is where I tell Gabe, I've got you dead a couple ways, mate, and we're gonna see how I do it. So I'm going to pay 3, I'm going to play Deceiver Exarch, tap down Ketramose, and then I can attack and bolt and snap them. And then I show him the snap and bolt as well. So it's a pretty standard game for Twin, not actually needing that Twin line. Instead, we're going for the bolt, snap, bolt, the more standard control approach. But let's see how we get on when we go into game 2 here. So we are getting into game 2 now. So Ketramose player did take a mulligan, going down to 6. While I muck about with dice, trying to see what shows up on camera, because apparently it would appear that none of my dice do. There we are. So it looks like I keep my 7 here. Yeah, keep my 7, and pretty sure Gabe keeps his 6 here, but let's see. So Gabe keeps his 6, forgets to bottom anything, and just plays out. But got something to say for him, and then I think he has a nice little reply here. And it's all happening again. Gabe's life is flashing before his eyes as he once again sees the monkey showing up again. This is probably the worst thing to see as a Ketramose player, is that monkey turn 1. If you have the answer, it's great. But if you don't, it can represent a lot of acceleration for the control player, and it really does put you just far behind. Because especially if I get to swing out here and just go, I don't get to swing out, it doesn't matter, but At the end of the day, he has to do that, and then he has to play off of curve as well, which is just fantastic for me. So I'm going to play an island here, and someone's probably going to... Oh, no, just pass. So representing some counter spells, remans, all sorts of things. If I was on the play here, I would be considering doing a fire and ice, or an ice, more than anything I should say. Just so to really make Gabe play off a curve, because it doesn't have a lot of 1-mana interaction. It doesn't have a lot of 1-mana creatures, but he's got a lot of 2s, so that would have been a consideration. However, he's going to have 2 mana this turn, assuming he draws lands, so there's really no point. But as you see there, he does play the plains, so there would be no point in me going for that fire and ice line. I'm not even sure if it's in my hand, to be honest, but yeah, that's just something to consider. So I'm going to play a Duffy Voidwalker here. Now in games 2 and 3, I do cut all the Snapcaster Mages. There is absolutely no point having a Snapcaster Mage in versus the Ketramose player. There's about 700 exile or graveyard effects. So I'm not really worried about Duffy. It's just basically a 3-2 unblockable here. And then I dash Van. So he's going to take it. 16. Going to get a treasure. And Flicker Wisp off the top. It's going to stay there. So again, still representing 2 mana. Just being really disciplined about this. So you're going to get an Overlord. Just considering whether I let that go. He's got no creatures, so I'm fine with Overlord. If he finds something good off the top, then it is what it is. He does find a Solitude and a Ketramose, but he's going to take the Ketramose, which makes sense. He's really in the driving seat at the moment. So totally understand why he would leave that. So just a quick question here about Duffy Voidwalker, but it was good. Just wondering if he can cheat and get the Solitude under it as well. So he's having another little thing. See the Extirpate in his hand. So he's going to Extirpate the exiled Ragavan. Realise he can't do that. Put it back to his hand. Come on, Gabe, mate. Tighten it up. So just moving some cards around so we can see what's going on. Ticks down his Overlord after I tell him to. So play a land here. 2 mana and dash a Van, which we already do know about. So I'm going to get in, and this round it's going to get Solituded. Pitching Ephemerate. So I'm going to use my treasure here, so it may look weird to crack the treasure instead. So I want to preserve my Surveil Land use. So that's why I went for crack the treasure, because again, I'm now at 4 mana. The treasure isn't that relevant, and potentially I'm going to get another treasure anyway. So I've still got 2 mana up. So I'm absolutely fine there to let that happen like that. But like I say, protecting your Surveil lands and using those where you can is just insane value. Especially when you're an A+B combo deck, it's just nice to be able to go, search for one half when you got the other. So type play here. Remembering to fetch in response to Ketramose, so that I don't end up drawing him a card for no reason with Duffy on the battlefield. I don't have a counter spell. I believe. Otherwise, if I did have a counter spell, this would be a terrible play. So Ketramose currently isn't online. There's only 6 in the yard at the moment. So leave that on top. And Ketramose hits the table. So just writing down that my opponent has a Solitude in hand, just a little reminder to myself more than anything. So take another nug from Doffy. So it's 13 plays 16. Life totals are being eaten away here. So gonna get another Dashavan in. So here he Solitudes pitching Ketramose. I do have interaction, but there's no point because if I deal with the Solitude, then he's still gonna be able to block with Ketramose, so I may as well just let the Ragavan go. So just a little confusion there over where the Ragavan was. Now that Lightning Bolt does go under Daffy Voidwalker because creatures die to state-based actions, not damage. So again, got that Scalding Tarn. So swings out for 4 here, puts himself to 20. And like I say, this is a situation where the Ketramose for players' life total is just obscenely large here. So I'm pretty much at the point now where getting through on damage isn't going to happen. So I'm looking for a little bit of combo potential here. So in response to this failed trigger, he's going to extirpate. Just looks like he wants to cycle that away. So he's going to find the Scalding Tarns. So like I say, just looking to draw a card with Ketramose. So I show him my absolutely doggy ass hand of land, Exarch land. So now Surveil's happening. Leave it on top. It's not Splinter Twin, unfortunately, as much as I would have loved it to be. I think it was a Flame of Anor, which it's just a redraw. So passing the turn back. Ghost Vacuum coming out here. So just debating here what he wants to Ghost Vacuum, whether he wants to get back potentially a Duffy Voidwalker later on if he gets a 6 mana. Not sure the game's going to go quite that long, but you never know. So I'm just going to draw a card of Ketramose here. And I'm going to play the Emperor Bones. So I see an absolute glut of Solitudes here. So I'm worried about my out here is getting a Splinter Twin off the top. So he's going to draw another card. And at this point, like I say, I am very much Splinter Twin off the top to win the game. I let Ketramose get in. So I go to 7, it goes to 22. So after damage, put the Zebra Exarch. So this is a bit of a heads up play, tapping that just in case he did find a land, which it looks like he did. And so this stops him adapting the Solitude in response to me going off the Splinter Twin. Because like I say, I'm very much knocked the top of the deck here, looking for that Splinter Twin. And as we see, he did find that land, so He's got one card in hand. I know it can't be Solitude, so I'm going to Flame of Anor, draw 2 cards, and hope that in the top 3 cards I can find a Splinter Twin. But doesn't look like I do, unfortunately. Which after that, I'm never going to be able to get a the Splinter Twin combo again ever, basically, because he can just hold up Solituding for the rest of the game. He never has to activate it until I either try and kill it or I try to go for the combo. The only way I think I can get out of this game here is another Deceiver Exarch, a removal for Emperor of Bones, and then finding Splinter Twin. But it's a big ask. So I'm going to go to 3 here. Really only got one more turn here. Really running low on outs. And so his Overlord comes off in bending. Gonna crack this, just thinning the deck out, looking for ways I can just drawing another card off of Ketramose, we'll be using the Ghost Vacuum again. Like I say, he's now got 2 cards in hand. There is a possibility for Solitude white card. It's not likely, but it's not impossible. So it looks like I'm probably just going to try to draw a card here with something. So it looks like I'm going to fire this, force the issue with the Solitude. So this is, I just need to draw cards here, so I'm going to remand my own fire, which, because I know it's not going to kill anything. And then I see the Splinter Twin in absolute, fuming. But yeah, he's got me on board. Can't really do too much here. Like I say, I've completely run out of outs there. But like I say, if they get Ketramose down, this game becomes tougher and tougher. Their life total basically becomes unmanageable, and they just get infinite amount of card draw. If you can fade all that, then you've got a chance. So we're going to be going to game 3 here. Just shuffling that for game 3. And let's see who wins this exciting game of grindy magic. Now this is really where modern is great. You know, we all talk about Breach and the how rough that is, but you know, Splinter Twin versus Ketramose, all these fun decks. So Mulligan for Gabe here. So I've just keep 7s all day long because I see lands, I see spells. Okay, so fresh 7 here for Gabe. Let's see which one he puts down, or if he keeps this one at all. Oh, Gabe, he keeps, but forgets to put a card from the bottom every single time. Oh, Gabe. Always cheating. So, gonna once again show him my monkey, please respond. He's just debating whether he solitudes here. I think it would be the wrong choice to solitude here. You do get a drill step to find a prismatic ending rather than using the solitude. So he's going to go to. So he's going to prismatic ending the Ragavan here, which, like I say, is to be expected. So, do I have another monkey here? So they're going to play an island here. And once again, showing my monkey. So it looks like we're just debating a solitude here, which does go for. So once again, this is I'm more than happy to see solitude trade for monkey. Almost every single time. Again, it's just another 2 for 1. Yes, Ketramose may catch him up a bit later, but right now, when you're just playing the resource game, this is the perfect answer, rather than like a 1 for 1 with prismatic ending. So we're gonna get Bony with it. So he's gonna get that solitude underneath there. So I'm just gonna play a Misty, and I let him untap with it. So he's going to play a Surveil land. Gee, tanks. So he's going to surveil that Flicker Wisp and put it underneath the Emperor of Bones. So I'm going to take 2 here. So crack my Misty here. Go find my Surveil land and have a look, see what's going on top. So I'm going to quickly look on top. And leaving that one where it is. And then, so we've got an ice play here where I am going to tap down the lands. This puts him outside of adapt range. Again, this is just to make sure that if I want to kill it, that he's not able to adapt and get around it. Either forces the adapt now, or risk losing the Emperor of Bones. I'm happy with either, because if he adapts, he loses the ability to Solitude. If he doesn't adapt, then I can kill it and he loses the ability to Solitude. So he's going to get a Flicker Wisp here when he adapts. So that's going to go away for a turn. Draw my card off of my ice. Solitude goes to exile, which I'm very happy about. Flicker Wisp is here for now, but it will go away at the end. So there's finality counter. pass with 4 mana up. Emperor Bones comes back. And I'll just fire it again. So just reminded them that Flicker Whisper's got a finality. And feeling pretty good here. Got 2 mana up. Not a lot really going on the Ketramose players' side. I haven't seen a Ketramose yet, which is, like I said, the sort of key cornerstone to winning this matchup. It's not letting them resolve Ketramose. So he's just going to pass here. Draw for turn. And land pass. A classic. So another tapped Shockland for Gabe here. I've still got one more spell land, but let's see what I'm thinking about doing here. I've got 3 mana. Looks like it's going to be... it's a Vendilion click, so I'm going to... the little fun of here comes to great effect, so I'm going to have a look in his hands, see if there's anything I really need to get rid of here. And it does the job it needs to do anyway, because Gabe basically discards his entire hand in order to deal with this. So show him a counterspell on Super Exarch. Terrible counterspell art. I need to get some better ones. So a little bit of confusion here. I believe the Solitude was still on the stack. Gabe was on the field. But it's fine. Like I say, I'm more than happy to it to go away. It's not a big deal that I lose my Vendilion click here. Yes, it's a threat, but I still have a Deceiver Exarch in hand, so it's not like it's game ending. It's my only threat. So a little bit of a confusion there, but it is what it is. That's why we play Magic, isn't it? Sometimes we do. So just going to grab my Surveil land here. And really looking for like a Splinter Twin, something else, but just do find a land. So let's see what else we find here. Looks like another counter spell. Just going to pass. I'm in no rush here. He's got one card in hand, which I can't see at the time, but obviously it's a Witch Enchanter, as you guys can see. He is just debating playing it here. I'm not too fussed if he does. And then step, I'm going to flash him with a Deceiver Exarch. Just putting him under the threat of, at some point I may Splinter Twin. So just going to dink in for 1, put him to 14 and pass 10. So he's going to play another Marsh Flats. And I think he gets Surveil land here. Just looking for some action. Like I say, we've both traded resources, and currently I've traded more efficiently. Most of my stuff has been 1 for 1 or 2 for 1. So as a result, it's ended up he's low on action. I've still got some stuff in hand. Chucks away a land. And I'm going to make it top deck 7. I'm going to swing for 1. Pass back to him. And his hand is currently Felia and Witch Enchanter. So swing in with Deceiver Exarch here again. And then we're playing Blood Moon now. Blood Moon is extremely effective here. He's going to try flashing the Felia. I'm just going to counterspell it. And he's going to scoop, because he's going to have all mountains, which is going to be a bit tough for him to come back from. But yeah, that is the game. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully there'll be more to come on the Full Fire channel. Keep your eye out for more F&M, pickup games, tournaments, so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.